Hi everyone and welcome to Bert Plays Games, the video series where I log a considerable amount of hours into a game and give you an honest review of my experience to help you decide whether or not that game is right for you. This week we'll be playing Held Let Loose, a gritty hardcore World War II first-person shooter with epic battles of 100 players. With infantry, tanks, artillery, a dynamically shifting front line, and a unique resource-based real-time strategy-inspired meta game. After logging in just under 20 hours of game time, I can say that Held Let Loose is... hang on. I can say that Held Let... Dang it. Held Let oh, come on, I didn't even spawn yet. Held Let Loose is merciless and unforgiving, and is everything a dedicated hardcore gamer would want in their World War II style game. The game is dedicated to offering a fully immersive experience. With a very minimal HUD that reduces cluttering up the screen, you can't help but get pulled into the brutal realism of World War II. Play side by side with your squad of 6 as various roles to take and hold objectives throughout the map. Outposition and outsmart your opponents by using teamwork to decimate the enemy lines with a realistic time to kill, and fend off oncoming attacks while defending objectives to secure victory. Each squad is ran by an officer who takes their orders from the commander, a single soldier who is in charge of communication between the various squads to make decisions and come up with battle strategies in real time. The commander takes in information given to them by their officers, all while simultaneously devising a plan of action, such as ordering a squad to flank behind the enemy to catch them by surprise, or tasking an artillery to target an enemy garrison or tank. Every role in the squad is critically important to victory, be that the machine gunner, who is tasked with providing overwhelming suppressive fire to allow teammates to advance under cover, all while simultaneously mowing down enemy units. Or the support class, who sets up spawn points for the officers. The support is critical in terms of allowing players to spawn deep behind enemy lines to catch the enemy off guard and offer a different line of attack. And of course there's the always important medic, who can revive fallen teammates and get them back into the fight quickly. Regardless of which role you pick, your team will either sink or swim depending on how well you work together as a team. With matches lasting up to 90 minutes, players will have to fight for every square inch of the map if they're going to secure the victory. Because Held Let Loose is a hardcore shooter, players can be killed with a single bullet, resulting in you able to mow down an entire squad with one clip. Depending on what side of the barrel you're on, this can be either extremely satisfying or incredibly aggravating. Because Held Let Loose focuses more on teamwork as opposed to the Giga Chads in Call of Duty who are trying to take out the whole lobby, the scorecard represents how well you attack or hold objectives as opposed to how many kills you get. This encourages players to play the objective as opposed to playing for kills. Your score is divided into 3 categories. Combat points are points that are awarded to you for killing certain units. Each role has a different point system awarded to you for securing a kill. For example, killing a Tiger tank is 100 points, whereas killing a medic is only 1 point. Your score doesn't tell you who or what you've killed, or how many you've killed, but simply that you've collected a certain amount of points during the match. There's also attack and defense points, where you get plus 10 points for staying in either the enemy zone or staying inside of your own zone for 1 minute. I really like that the game doesn't prioritize getting kills or encouraging players to go Rambo. In fact, the only way to know how many kills you've actually gotten is to press the tab button and press the button in the very bottom left-hand corner. And only then can you see your KD. Held Let Loose is a brutal experience that puts you right in the front seat of World War II. Because the HUD is almost non-existent, you really do feel like you're in the front lines fighting off the enemy that's hell-bent on sending you to the grave. The game is fast-paced and you never know what's waiting for you behind the corner. Each intersection or building can potentially hold dangers around every turn, keeping gameplay fresh and exciting. The game is currently on sale on the Steam store for $26.79, which is in the middle of the road in regards to the price point. It's really going to come down to whether or not you enjoy this style of game. Held Let Loose definitely caters to a certain style of hardcore gamers. Personally, I think this game would frustrate the casual gamer just looking to unwind and relax with their friends. The insanely fast time to kill paired with the unlucky respawn timer can leave the average player feeling aggravated and frustrated as they spend more time in the deploying screen than they do in the actual game itself, making the $26.79 feel like it's not worth it. However, if you're somebody who enjoys the grind and the gritty realism that hardcore gameplay offers, then this game is right up your alley. Held Let Loose is easy to grasp, but hard to master. The controls and general idea of the game are simple enough for anyone to jump in and play, but it takes hours of dedication to become a proficient killing machine. A single squad of players working well together can wreak havoc on the enemy and secure victory for their team. The maps are large enough to keep you entertained while trekking across large distances to the next objective that changes every match. Because the game is so dependent on teamwork, each match is different depending on who is in command and who you're fighting alongside with. Games are won or lost depending on how well everyone works as a team. Because of this, Hell Let Loose offers a high degree of replayability. Every squad and every game is different from the previous. Now, most squad mates do have a mic, so communication is never an issue. I will say that some squad mates are still using microphones from the 1990s, so it sounds like a fork is in a blender, but they're still cooperative and friendly. Overall, the game runs really smooth, considering that each map holds up to 100 players on a rather large area, and they're all shooting and killing each other. In all my playtime, I've never experienced any lag or connectivity issues. I've played on both East and West Coast servers and was able to consistently enjoy the game without noticing a ping issue. The weapon mechanics and reloads all looked really good. Now, players are only able to use the weapons specific to each army, be that the German MP40 or MG42, or the Thompson submachine gun and M1 Garand for the Allies. And of course, no video game review would be complete without the always iconic ping of the M1 Garand.
Push to the point.
The realism of the guns, mixed with the gore as a result from an intense firefight, drags you into what it must have felt like to do battle in World War II. While playing Hell Let Loose, I found that my overall gameplay experience to be mixed in regards to enjoyment. When you find yourself on a team that communicates and works well together, the game is a blast and really enjoyable to play. If you find yourself on a team that doesn't communicate and they play their role ineffectively, the game can be blood-boiling and rage-inducing. Having to wait 30 seconds to spawn, walk 10 feet and then die, only to wait another 30 seconds to spawn again was a struggle, and I found it difficult to stay motivated, especially while learning the game. Also, because the game is a hardcore shooter, there isn't a kill feed or a hit marker. At first this didn't bother me, but I found that I needed a hit marker or a kill sound to know that I was able to secure a kill on my enemy. That my deaths up until this point weren't for nothing. Because the sound and animation of you dying is so loud and obvious, I would like to see the same in regards to when I kill somebody. The sound animations feel uneven in regards to when you die versus when you kill somebody, making the kills feel unrewarding and the deaths feel incredibly taxing on the spirit. The only time you get a sound that means you've killed someone is when you shoot somebody in the head. A very distinct ting can be heard if you find yourself lucky enough to get a headshot. I think a similar sound would be nice to let me know that I was able to secure a kill and keep me motivated to push forward into battle. Unfortunately, my biggest negative with Hell Let Loose is that there was no tutorial or practice match to learn the game mechanics and controls. Due to the lack of the tutorial, the only way to learn a role and how the game is played is to jump into an online match against other players, resulting in you joining into a squad and figuring things out as you go. Now, this wouldn't be a big deal for cut and dry roles like Rifleman or Assault, but roles like Officer, Support, and Engineer play a critical role in the game, and it's overwhelming to jump into a game and be demanded to play as a role you know nothing about. I would love to see a tutorial or have a guide in the main menu to help newer players understand what each role does and how best to play it. For a new player to jump right into a battlefield and figure out how to play a role while getting one-tapped repeatedly can be difficult. And if the game is going to survive and attract fresh blood, then a tutorial or a guide is necessary for the longevity of Hell Let Loose. Currently, the game has an average player base between 9,000 to 10,000 active players daily, and has grown considerably since its launch in July of 2021. With huge team fights of 50v50, Hell Let Loose lives up to its name. With a brutal exchange of bullets and rockets, players have to fight for every inch while making their enemy pay for it in blood. As stated before, the game is designed for a hardcore gamer who doesn't shy away from a challenge and thrives under pressure. As for me, a casual mustache-wearing, coffee-sipping forehead, I'm glad I was able to review the game, but I think this game is going to be one of those ones that stay on the shelf. It was hard to enjoy myself while dying over and over again. I understand that this game is designed to be difficult, but this game was too difficult to enjoy. However, I am happy that I was able to play the game and get a feel for it so that I could give an honest review. I hope you found this video useful. I'll be doing more of this style of video reviews, so let me know if there's a game I should review next. Also, I stream right here on YouTube as I collect footage for these videos, so be sure to stop by and hang out with me as I collect more B-roll for the next video. Thanks again for stopping by and checking out the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.